Hey, it's Kevin with Rabbit River Press, here to talk about our latest listing, the 2024 category Power Budget. Thanks so much for stopping by. You know, it's our mission at Rabbit River Press to help our customers organize, maximize, and thrive. And what better way to do all three of those than with a good, strong monthly financial budget? Now, sometimes I call it a budget, sometimes I call it a spreadsheet. Either way, I mean the same thing. And I love this one in particular for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's very powerful. It's got a lot of really great financial insights and information that you can quickly gather just glancing at the spreadsheet between all the charts and the graphs and the tables. Number two, it's very easy to use. You put in your income, you put in your expenses into the predefined categories, which are already built for you, and the sheet does all the rest of the work. And number three, it comes with a free ebook to help you get up and running fast. So all of that together represents an exceptional value. Let's take a look and we'll be back right after that. This is the 2024 category Power Budget ebook. Again, it comes free with the spreadsheet when you purchase it. It's got a lot of really great information in it, starting out with the importance and benefits of financial planning, the benefits of budgeting, why category-based budgeting in particular, and on and on. And there's quite a bit more. And by the time we get all the way down to chapter 5, there's specific instructions in there on how to use this particular spreadsheet. So let's go check it out. This is what the spreadsheet looks like when you first open it up. I'm using Microsoft Excel. There's a version for Google Sheets as well, if that's your preference. So far, there's no information in the sheet, so none of the charts or graphs or tables have updated yet. But just to get some orientation going here, look at row 37 is a red line. Everything above that is considered the dashboard, and everything below row 37 is considered the category section. The category section is where you put in your expenses. There are 12 categories altogether. 6 of them are green, 6 of them are blue. The green ones represent essential spending, essential categories, things that are probably going to remain the same month over month. The blue ones represent discretionary spending. Also, there's a quick start guide over on the left. I'll come back and talk about the cash flow summary and table at the end of this. Right off the bat, to get started, I want to let you know that if you do make a mistake trying to put information into a cell that's not set up for data entry, you will get an error message. And it looks something like this. It says the cell or chart you're trying to change is in a protected sheet. You can click OK. In the review command of Excel, if I click on the unprotect sheet, now the sheet is unprotected. It does not ship with a password, and you can make whatever changes you want. I do recommend that after the changes are done, you go back and protect the sheet again. You can put a password in if you want to. Make sure the top 2 items are ticked and say OK. Now the sheet's back in its protected mode. In the dashboard, the income is entered into these 2 tables. One of them is called expected income. The other is actual income. Expected is always optional. It's a good practice to do so, though. That way you can check to see if your forecasting is in alignment with what you actually see in reality. But I'm just going to go ahead and start making some numbers up here. Let's say 7,000 for the first one and 360 for the second source of income. Right away, you can see things are updating. And now I'll go and fill in some of the actual numbers. Let's say the first one is the same, and the second one is a little bit more. So I can see that income source number 1 is much larger than 2, and I can see that my expected and actual are the same, they're identical, and I can also see that I made a little bit more on my income source number 2. All that's very quickly and easily discerned by looking at the chart, and the real data is below in the table. Now let's go down to the category section, and it would work the same way here. Let's suppose that our mortgage or rent is $1,500 a month, and our mobile is $200. I don't see anything yet over in the chart and graph for categories because this is going to track actual, not expected. But as soon as I put in the actual information, then you'll see it start to update. And that's how it works. You put your income in at the top, you put your expenses into the appropriate categories in the bottom, and the sheet does the rest. Let's take a look at a sheet that's already been filled out a little bit more. Okay, so this is what the sheet is going to look like. That's an errant piece of information there. Got rid of that. This is what your sheet is going to look like after you've filled in a lot more of the information. You can see that the expenses, essential and discretionary, have now filled in, and you can quickly see where the money's going. And if there's a question, like what's this big green chunk, I can just hover my mouse over that, and it tells me that's coming from the housing category. Or this one is the personal care, or this blue one is other, and this blue one is donations. So real quickly, I can see where the money's going. I can see what money's coming in, and I can see what money's going out. I've got the charts, I've got the top line information, and down below, I can now see my spending by category chart is all filled in. I can see each category by specific dollar amount, as well as by the percentage of how much of the total category that one item represents. And that's how this works. Let's go ahead and talk about the cash flow summary. Let's look at the table for a second. So the cash flow summary table is made up of total income minus total expenses, gives me my net cash flow. And hopefully that's going to be a positive number. So in this case, $8,000 or so coming in with $5,000 or so in expenses leaves me with almost $3,000 net cash flow. That's exactly what we want to see. And by the way, if I double click on a number with a formula in it, I can see what operation is taking place. I'll press escape. The information below total expenses is a listing of some of the more important expenses, just so that I have all that information quickly and easily in one spot. My essential, my discretionary. I have a spot for other expenses and for savings. Let me show you where they're coming from. We made these categories for savings and other as part of the discretionary spending. So I've got some information here about the money that's being saved, and I've got some information over here about other expenses that come up that maybe weren't forecasted. And it's good to have all of that in one spot. So that's what's going on with the cash flow summary table. Again, net cash flow is simply income minus expenses, and the chart above shows you the exact information that's in the table, but in chart format. And that's it. That's the 2024 category Power Budget. Very powerful, very easy to use. In the meantime, why not stop by our apparel shop? We'd love to see you over there. And until next time, take care. God bless.